underway for the final of the men's 4x100 meters relay. And this will feature the defending champions from 2019 and the World Relays in Yokohama. The team from Brazil that staged that huge upset, Michael, over the United States. The Americans, of course, along with the Canadians and the Australians and the Trinidadians and Jamaicans, not here because of COVID complications. Here come the Brazilians. This high-octane team with De Oliveira on the anchor. He's the man that held off Noah Lyles by 2/100ths of a second 2 years ago to win the gold medal. The Italians were fastest in qualifying with a 38:45 clocking. And they've got Filippo Tortu, the young live wire, on the anchor for them. The South Africans were fourth fastest in the heats. They were fifth in Doha, where they broke the African record in the heats at 37:65 clocking. The Japanese will not have their A team that we saw in Yokohama. They've got a development team here, but the Japanese always a well-oiled, well-trained quartet. And rounding out the field, the Danish team with their two-time 200-meter champion Simon Hansen leading off for them. So there is the lineup, and there are the past champions, the Brazilians, as I mentioned, after two straight victories by the Americans in 2017 and 2015, and the Jamaicans from 2014 also not here because of COVID. Canada withdrawing from the World Relays because of the complications. They probably had to take 3 flights to get here. The men's 4x1 relay team has not yet qualified for Tokyo. As of today, there are 12 of the 16 berths are spoken for. 4 berths remain, and Canada sitting right now first in line right now with a 9th ranking on the world list. And the Canadian head coach, Glenroy Gilbert, saying that it was the right decision to make to stay away, and he's confident that Canada will get to Tokyo.
Our hope is that whatever comes out of the World Relays, that our men will be okay, most likely, possibly our women in the 4x1, because again, it's 16 spots. And then our mixed relay is sitting 11th, our women are sitting 15th, which is a bit on the bubble. The 15th spot may be a challenge with all the teams that are showing up. Unfortunately for us, you just simply have to be there. If you're there and you make a final, then you can pretty much displace our teams. I wouldn't say it's a calculated risk that we took, but we probably went more on the side of caution and health for our athletes, and hope that if we do get bumped, we can possibly look for something in Europe or something in the US where they would have some of these category meets, which would allow us to then get ourselves back in the ranking order.
So that's the predicament the Canadians are in. But Michael, are you confident that the Canadians will be able to assemble a quartet that will have a time fast enough to get them into the top 16 in the world?
Well, this relay is all about exchanges, Mark, as we know, but the Canadians certainly have the depth of talent to make this Olympic team. We'll see if they can get their training straight and qualify on time, but certainly rich in talent, rich in history for Canada in this 4x1 relay.
Well, might this final be a rematch of yesterday's heat number 3, with Italy in lane 3, South Africa in 7, and France in 8. The Italians looking very good, going out very strongly in the opening exchange, very smoothly, and down the back straight. Outside, France beginning to be reeled in by the South Africa's Liatella. The Italians, though, with some of the best exchanges. They're first right now, coming into this third leg, chasing South Africa. Through the bend they come, and this is a great exchange to Tortu with Simbine, one of the fastest men in the world. Tortu, the first Italian to go under 10 seconds, trying to hold off Simbine, who's been under 10 3 times this year, and he does it. The Italians first ahead of the South Africans in a thrilling finish in that heat number 3. And Tortu leads them into the finals and to the Tokyo Olympics, qualifying by getting into these finals along with Germany, Ghana, and Denmark. So those are countries that Glenroy Gilbert was talking about, Michael. Ghana, Denmark, not normally teams that would be in the same conversation as the Canadians when it comes to a sprint relay.
That's right, Mark. But as we mentioned, the Canadians are still training well, have all the talent to make it possible. And here's one man that will like to have some retribution from yesterday over his Italian rival, Filippo Tortu. It was a great finish in that heat number 3 of 3 in the qualifying rounds. There we see Burnett of the Netherlands as well. But I fully suspect South Africa and Italy will be battling once again in this men's 4x1 final.
Well, Simbine, as I mentioned, 3 times sub 10 seconds already this year. Michael, he clocked a 9.99 into a 3-meter headwind. So, you know, he's got speed. There's Germany in lane 9 with Reyes, the record holder for Germany in the leadoff. Ghana in 8. The Netherlands with Van Gool, a bronze medalist at the 2019 European Indoors. Brazil will be led off by Dawn Nascimento. Then the Italians with Desalu in the lead. And Marcel Jacobs, their 60-meter indoor champion, will be running the second leg. So this Italian team is full of sprint speed with the indoor 60-meter European champion from just a month ago in Torun, Poland, lining up on the second leg for the Italians. And that youngster Filippo Tortu, who's gone under 10, broke Manea's 39-year record, will be on the anchor. Rest of the field, the South Africans, the Japanese, and the Danes in 4, 3, and 2. Those are the finalists, the men's 4x100 meter relay. Two-time Danish 200-meter champion Hansen will lead off for them. But watch South Africa in 4, Italy in 5, Brazil in 6, right down the middle of the track. That's the race here in this men's 4x100 meter final. The Netherlands outside in 7, then Ghana in 8, and Germany way out, running blindly in lane 9 with Julian Reyes, their German record holder, a 10:01 man, leading off for them. Final of the men's 4x1. The gun, and they're away in these chilly conditions in Poland as they go through the bend, and Reyes is out. He's pulled up. The Germans are out as they get to the first exchange. And down the back straight they go. The Italians making a big move. It's Jacobs using that 60-meter speed, running up on the Brazilians. Through the third leg now is Brazil, Italy, and South Africa. At the change, all the Italians bunch up the exchange, and it's South Africa running away with Brazil. The Brazilians in the lead. Here comes Simbine at the line. Oh, it's so close. A photo finish. Simbine reeling in the Oliveira of Brazil, and the Italians mess up the final exchange to Tortu and fall out of contention. But this will be very close. They'll have to look at the photo. Did Simbine reel in the Oliveira? He's the man that held off Noah Lyles 2 years ago by 2 100ths to win gold. The Brazilian defending champion. Simbine waiting anxiously for the time, the official result. Still not on the clock. They may have to go to the thousandth of a second. It is South Africa. Simbine has beaten the Oliveira in a reversal of fortune here in Poland. Well, Simbine could not walk down Tortu in the heats, but what an exhibition of speed and baton exchanges as he did walk down the Oliveira of Brazil. We have new champions in 2021. South Africa overtaking the defending champs from Brazil.
Well, that is the nature of 4x1 relay. We saw the Germans pull out after the first 100 meters, looked like a hamstring injury to Reyes through the first bend. And then a lot of different things going on with botched exchanges, especially the Italians. In that third and final exchange, we expected the fast closing Filippo.
Hey, Michael, it's always the specter of disaster, right, that will reach up and grab one of the contenders in this event.
Absolutely correct. And it looks as though Brazil might be having some issues in one of the exchange zones as well. Here we can see the Germans out in lane number 9. Rayos right at about 40 meters, grabbing his hamstring ever so slightly, but a tremendous run by the Italian Jacobs in this backstretch. That is the longest leg, that backstretch. But here you can see the Italians stumbling ever so slightly, giving up a bit of speed. And Simbine, a nice acceleration, about a 2-meter deficit at this point in time between Simbine, and you can see him really walk down to Oliveira, and a nice dip at the line. Hard to see from this angle, but a slight victory for Simbine. A tremendous close over that final 20 meters, showing tremendous speed endurance. And South Africa celebrating accordingly. They are deemed world champions in the men's 4x1.
And Michael, the Brazilians couldn't have done that final exchange any better. I mean, they were so smooth, and it looked like the Oliveira had 3, maybe 4 strides on Simbine, who did walk him down. What a thrilling finish by the South African as they win the gold medal here today. And how about Ghana? Ghana managing to scoot in there for the bronze, as the Italians, with that botched final exchange, faded out of the medals. So Ghana, one of those qualifiers for the Olympics in Tokyo, on the podium here at the World Relays for the first time in the men's 4x1. Another example of countries that might normally not get the chance to bask in the limelight, getting it here. And we have a disqualification. You're right. Brazil disqualified for a messed up lane infraction, so they drop out of the podium. That elevates Japan to the bronze. Ghana also out with a disqualification. Wow. Still to come.